Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I'm Bright Ebuchu. The Sierra Leone government has imposed a nationwide curfew on its citizens over a suspicion of a coup d'etat following gunfire in Freetown, the country's capital. Cheno Eba, Sierra Leone's Minister of Information and Civic Education, released a statement on Sunday acknowledging an armed attack in the country. The statement said in the early hours of Sunday, November 26, 2023, some unidentified individuals attempted to break into the military armory at Wilberforce Barracks, adding that they've all been rebuffed. It assured the public that the government and the state security forces are in control to enable the security forces to continue the process of apprehending the suspects. A nationwide curfew is declared with immediate effect across the country. The statement also advised citizens to stay indoors and follow the official Ministry of Information and Civic Education channels and official handles for accurate information and updates on the situation. This response followed widespread fears that an armed group was about to overthrow the Sierra Leonean government. Videos of gunshots in Freetown emerged in social media posts on Sunday. The Economic Communities of West African States, ECOWAS, has condemned the plot by some individuals to acquire arms and disturb the peace and constitutional order in Sierra Leone. ECOWAS therefore calls for the arrest and prosecution of all participants in the illegal act. The sub-regional body reiterates its zero tolerance for unconstitutional change of government and underscores its commitment to supporting the government and people of Sierra Leone to deepen democracy and good governance, consolidate peace and security, as well as foster socio-economic development. Aisha Ibrahim of the Ministry of Information, Borno State, has emerged president of the Nigerian Association of Women and Awaj. Aisha Ibrahim pulled a total number of 498 votes to defeat the incumbent president Ladi Bala of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, who scored 381 votes. The election was conducted at the 11th Triennial Delegate Conference of the association held in Abuja. Dennis Temple reports.
It was at the Women Journalists Convention, a gathering that marks a significant milestone in the realm of media and gender representation, attended by women journalists from across the 36 states of the Federation and the FTT, creating a veritable platform for discussions, empowerment sections, and of course, the highly anticipated elections of national officers, which was keenly contested for, after which a winner emerged.
At the end of the exercise, Ladi Bala scored a total number of 381 votes, while Aisha scored 498 votes.
In her acceptance speech, the winner of the contest, Aisha Ibrahim, expressed gratitude for the support and pledged to work towards promoting gender equality in the media industry.
I expect after 3 decades, the association should have taken a position higher than where it is today. So we are going to look at the structures, we are going to look at the finances, we are going to look at the conduct of Norwegians, because there have been several complaints about conduct of female journalists in this country. These are some kind of reforms we wish to bring.
I assure you that we're going to carry every Norwegian along, we're going to bring unity, and then we're going to bring developmental projects.
The accreditation process was perfect, the voting process was excellent, and then the results have been announced. And to us, it's a union affair. It's like a family affair.
This year's convention held in Abuja has a theme, Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. The role of the media in Abuja. Dennis Temple, NTA News.
To achieve quality transformation and development at the grassroots, President Bola Tinubu's government will reinvigorate and accord more importance to traditional institutions in Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima expressed this view at the 37th Cancer Day celebration in Beru, Ikenne local government area of Ogun State. Yemi Dalemo reports.
town came alive as dignitaries from all walks of life converged on the community to celebrate the Akeson Day, which is a social-cultural festival that brings together sons and daughters of the land to celebrate the mythical founder of the ancient town in Ogun State.
To the address of the governor.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says Nigeria's multicultural diversity should be a source of strength because festivals like the Akeson Day are a rallying point for development.
This festival serves as an opportunity to reimpose President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to giving priority to our traditional institutions in navigating the intricacies of our diversity. The commitments articulated by the Tinubu administration stand firm, and we pledge to honor these assurances, ensuring positive transformations in the lives of our people.
Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun is proud of the event.
We in Iberu land, we have roots. We're a people of history, tradition, heritage, and culture. Today, the attendant parade of cultural values and heritage during this celebration has increased the inflow of tourists and investors into this state. This we are very proud of.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas is among other dignitaries who joined the Alakperu of Iperu Oba Adeleke Idowu Basibo and the indigenes of Iperu Remo to mark the 2023 Akeson Day celebration in Ogun State. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA.
Building a new Nigeria where unity of purpose remains the watchdog has once again been re-echoed as some non-religious and non-political groups converge on Abuja to reiterate the essence of one Nigeria. Elizabeth Omori reports that messages of hope, harmony, and tolerance dominated discussions as speakers raised the importance of an indivisible nation.
A nation must first exist in the heart of the citizen before it becomes a reality in the natural.
There's absolutely no way you can foster a society with a fragmented and divided allegiance. There's no way a people can cultivate aspiration, incubate division, and nurture a dream profession without commonality of purpose. There must be a commonality of purpose, and that is why we are calling this. There is a new consciousness.
Every single thing that you want to achieve starts with a belief. And when you believe, you work towards it, and you will achieve it.
Talks centered on behavioral change, positive thinking, national value, reorientation, and self-development. The National Unity Carnival is the second in the series designed to unite Nigerians. Federal government is implementing policies and programs towards partial commercialization of river basins to create more wealth and employment opportunities among the teeming youths in the country. Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, disclosed this while on courtesy call to Governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Umaru Finitri, at Government House in Yola. Usman Zubair reports that the visit is part of effort to seek for synergy with states for the nation to achieve its agenda of sustainable development goals number 6, which is access to clean water, sanitation, ending hunger and poverty.
To involve programs and projects aimed at harnessing water resources potentials across the country to unlock the nation's assets. Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, while at Government House in Yola, said federal government through the ministry has keyed into private partnership where water is released to private individuals to grow more food and create employment, noting that one of them is Savannah Sugar Factory in Adamawa State, which has generated about 10,000 employment opportunities in the state. The tour to Upper Benue River Basin, the minister has said, is to acquaint himself with the success and challenges of Kebbi Dam and other irrigation schemes in the state for possible government intervention. Synergy with states and relevant stakeholders accelerate the actualization present. Tinubu's agenda of food security, ending poverty, will continue.
River basins are the veritable tools for securing food security in this country. We have a lot of irrigable lands, And by extension, if we grow more food, we will reduce the overbearing of our currency.
Adamawa State Ahmadu Umar Fintiri said the state expresses commitment to such partnerships and commended the Upper Benue River Basin Development Authority for opening up more irrigation schemes at Kidnap Dam for farmers in the state to engage in modern farming activities.
Already having discussion with investors and other business partners who will be coming to you with some of our memos to have that collaboration.
The minister was also at the Limit of Adamawa Palace for homage to seek for royal blessing. From Yola, Usman Zberu.
The Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Gunyu, has restated the federal government's commitment to complete all abandoned projects, especially on irrigation and dams, to boost food security and enhance economic growth. The minister stated this during a familiarization to Kiwi Dam and inspection of some water projects in Adamawa State. Abdullahi Ayuba Dalwa reports.
Kiri Dam in Adamawa State, established over 2 decades, has the storage capacity of 615 cubic meters of water, is currently undergoing expansion for irrigation purposes. The dam, with 6 component gates, serve as a source of water to the people of Adamawa State for irrigation and livestock production. The Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Muhammad Bello Goronyo, said the visit to Kiri Dam and inspection of some projects in Adamawa State is aimed at coming up with a plan in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda on fighting hunger and poverty, as well as create job opportunities for the people. Other projects inspected by the minister include expansion of water pump installation at Talum, Shelleng Local Government, and Savannah Sugar Company, Numan, among others. The minister expressed the federal government's readiness to collaborate with state governors and private organizations to ensure food sufficiency through irrigation.
We have abundant land that is there lying fallow without irrigation, and with multinationals and private investors, we can go a long way in alleviating the suffering of our people.
Water is a highly capital-intensive venture. That is why we are advocating for public-private partnership.
Earlier, the minister and his entourage visited Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri and the Lamido of Adamawa, Dr. Muhammadu Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa, to solicit for their support. In Yola, Abdullahi Ayubadalwa, NTA.
A major feat has been achieved by the Enugu state government towards arresting the perennial potable water scarcity, mostly felt in the capital city. This follows today's inauguration of the 9th Mile 247 water scheme in fulfillment of Governor Peter Mba's 180 days promise to residents of the state. Chika Ogo reports.
Before now, Enugu State residents have been grappling with lack of potable water supply, a situation that has brought untold hardship to many and crippled businesses, while water vendors capitalize on this to make bricks businesses. True to his campaign promise, Governor Peter Mba commissioned an ultra-modern water scheme at 9th Mile with capacity to deliver about 70 million liters of water daily, and that of Oji River, which delivers 50 million liters of water daily, which is about twice the needed quantity in the state. This, the governor explained, is the first phase of the project and promised to increase the capacity in the second phase. To ensure uninterrupted water supply, a dedicated gas power plant to complement the public power supply has been constructed. New mainstream pipelines and booster stations are also running in full capacity. There are 96 water galleries across the city which are already in operation.
By the time we have all the new layouts connected to the pipeline network, our consumption rate of volume would be 100 million liters of water daily.
A promise which earlier triggered doubts and criticism has left many singing new songs of appreciation.
We thank you because you've kept your word.
From Jim to you, we have had
about 10 governors, military and civilian. We have had 42 years. And it's you that's making it.
In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zafania Bitrus Gisalo, says more communities will benefit from the renewed hope agenda of the federal government through projects aimed at developing rural communities. This was at the inauguration of water projects for some rural communities in Benue State. Alias Edvard reports.
Motorized solar-powered boreholes funded by the National Lottery Trust Fund are located in 15 communities of the state where access to potable water remains a challenge.
I want to position it for the benefit of humanity and the overcoming.
The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zefania Gilasso, performing the flag off and handing over of the motorized solar boreholes to the 15 benefiting communities, brings to an end of the era of relying on well or stream water. While acknowledging the remarkable impact of interventions by the National Lottery Trust Fund in improving water and sanitation hygiene, the minister therefore tasked the fund to ensure monitoring and evaluation of the projects to keep track of envisaged outcomes.
It is therefore on this trend of this effort that I encourage the fund to extend this laudable intervention to other communities across the country to promote access to clean potable water supplies.
Executive Secretary of the Fund, Dr. Bello Megeri, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Patricia Ibiene, urged benefiting communities to take ownership of the projects.
This groundbreaking event is the first of its kind in the area of water and sanitation since the inception of the National Lottery Trust Fund in 2005.
Members of the communities, including traditional rulers and leaders, are grateful to the federal government for the gesture. They pledge to guard the projects jealously. From Dhaka local government area, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
More than 100 communities are expected to benefit from construction of the first ring road in Ekiti designed to boost development activities in many rural areas of the state. The state governor, while flagging up the road project, said when completed, the road will address transportation challenges and encourage greater economic activities. Taya also reports.
The construction of the new Ekiti Ring Road Phase 1, which starts from Iworoko Ekiti through Are, Afau, Araromeobo, Ekiti Cargo Airport and terminates at Aswayegunle Ijon Road, was first awarded in November 2020, but the execution of the project was however stalled by the outbreak of COVID-19. The governor noted that when completed, the road will serve the cargo airport and the Ekiti Knowledge Zone to decongest traffic in Ado Metropolis and attract socio-economic benefits for residents and the state in general. He described the landmark event as a manifestation of the commitment of the administration towards enhancing rapid development of the state and attraction of investors.
The intention is we are believing strongly that before they finish this, we will award the contract for the second phase. We're also going to acquire some lands along that road to create a new Ado town that we properly planned.
Governor Biodun Yebanji has also inaugurated a 3.6 megawatt independent power project, IPP, in Ekiti State. The construction of the independent power plant project commenced in 2021 under the leadership of former Governor Kayode Fayemi, has now been completed by Governor Biodun Yebanji. This will improve power supply across vital public facilities in Ado Ekiti, including the Government House Complex, Governor's Office, State Secretariat Complex, Ekiti State House of Assembly Complex, Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, EXUT, Ekiti State University, and street lights on major roads. The governor observed that the ongoing investment in the power sector will bring the desired shared prosperity result to the people, just as his administration is committed to the rapid industrial development of Ekiti for employment and growth. In Ado Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide, and it's now time to join Adiola in Lagos. Hello.
You're bright. Not less than 4,592 trainees for the batch of year 2022 have graduated from the 19 skill acquisition centers across Lagos State. S.A. Onwamaka reports that the skill development program supervised by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation WAPA is an initiative of the Lagos State government.
There is no gainsay that vocational skills acquisition is a veritable tool for alleviating poverty and promoting women and youth empowerment for financial sustainability. This is why the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says his administration will continue to use platforms such as the Lagos State Skill Acquisition Centers to invest and support skill acquisition and entrepreneurship programs to create job opportunities and eradicate poverty in the state.
There are no shortcuts to success. You must persevere. You must stay on it, you must believe in yourself, and you must continue to say to yourself, I can be a better person, I can do it, I can be better tomorrow than I am today.
The State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Cecilia Bolaji Dada, urged the graduates to put into good use the knowledge and skill acquired during the training for personal and societal development.
I wish to call on all our graduating students to utilize technology advancements by showcasing their well-packaged products in the global market with the aid of social media handles.
There is a need to look towards the future. By this, we must start reinventing ourselves while maintaining our core mandate.
After acquiring skills in different vocations for a period of 12 months, some of the beneficiaries of the skill acquisition program speak.
For people like married people like us, it's not that easy, but we thank God we're able to cope.
We had our happy moments, we had our stressful moments when work was there, pressure was there.
Plan on actually improving on what I've learned, making better use of it.
19 best trainees were presented with free vocational tools to start their craft. In Lagos, S.A. Onwamaka, NTA News.
More investment in the nation's power sector would begin to manifest with the full implementation of the Electricity Act 2023 signed into law by the President, which has now put electricity on the concurrent legislative list. Joel Popola reports that stakeholders in the power sector posited that it is time for investors to fully maximize the potential in the Act for national development.
The regulation of electricity sector in Nigeria has highlighted the need to explore power generation options for power capacity, reliability and availability. And for Nigeria's economic development agenda to be realized, regular power supply, which serves as catalyst for development, must be prioritized. The Electricity Act 2023, which places power in the concurrent list, means states can now legislate and invest in the power sector. Apart from government, private sector experts can now fully make an inroad into the power sector from generation, distribution and transmission. These developments industry players believe will hasten Nigeria's attainment of sustainability in the power sector.
And states can also do laws that are peculiar to their state that will help to leverage private sector investment in those states. And this continues. It means that there will be more quantum of people, private sector, that will come into the power industry, and that will spur competition and eventually reduce cost.
You know, that will remove a lot of bottlenecks. The uneven tariff, the sharp practices, the difficulties that is faced by people in general.
Lagos State government on its part is already exploiting the benefits of the Electricity Act with a robust legislative agenda with public-private sector initiative.
We've been talking about how do we encourage investors to invest into this electricity market. And aside from that, training has been assessed even outside the country.
Key players anticipate a more direct foreign investment in the power sector in the nearest future for a robust economic growth. In Lagos, Joel Pukbola, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue with Bright in Abuja after this time out. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. As Nigeria prepares for the 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, key drivers of the nation's climate adaptation programs are drawing up tangible proposals to make her participation valuable and fruitful. Elizabeth Omori reports that the meeting at the instance of the National Council on Climate Change seeks to mainstream actions across the various sectors.
Measure progress and negotiate multilateral responses to climate change. Nations within the 198 parties to the convention are warming up for the global conference to assess progress made towards the goals set in the Paris Agreement and chart a course of action. And this meeting aims to put into perspectives issues bordering on funding for sustainable development and mainstreaming adaptation efforts for implementation.
We need substantial investments in green technologies, from carbon capture to sustainable agriculture.
It's about the pledges that were made as far back as 2009 of the $100 billion that advanced countries have pledged to support mitigation, to operationalize the loss and damage fund.
We are here to support and to make sure these realities, these actions are being implemented.
Other reasons are fast-tracking energy transition and slashing emissions before 2030. So far, the Nigerian government has enacted energy policies and initiatives to foster a green transition. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
In a bid to promote public health consciousness and instill environmental health safety culture on the people, the Cross River State government has reiterated its determination to meet the Sustainable Development Goal on preventable public health diseases and well-being for all by ensuring a monthly environmental sanitation. Oba Hyacinth reports that this is top priority of Governor Basil to administration to ensure the clean status of the state is sustained, as Commissioner for Environment Moses Osogi flagged up this month's exercise in Calabar.
A dirty environment, experts say, is a breeding ground for mosquitoes, germs and other harmful organisms which endanger health and general well-being of the people. Therefore, ensuring a clean and green Cross River State, Governor Basil to administration is reintroducing the monthly general sanitation to promote public health. The exercise was monitored by the Commissioner for Environment, Moses Osogi, and his team, as well as other partners, to enforce compliance to sanitation rules.
It's in preparation for Carnival and to bring back the lost glory of the cleanest, greenest and serene state in the country. So we are bringing back that glory, and there's no way we can do that without this exercise to awaken the spirit of perseverance.
We are here to join the Ministry of Environment to carry out, to sensitize people on how to keep the environment clean.
The Commissioner outlined some of the punitive measures put in place for those who will throw waste indiscriminately.
The mobile court, already you know their rules and regulations. A mobile court, why they call it mobile court? It's a situation where any defaulter will be tried immediately and prosecuted. And so in the next outing, in our next exercise, the mobile court will be introduced in all the nooks and crannies of the state. And anybody who default will be tried.
The monthly general exercise observed in all the local government area of the state is aimed at sustaining a clean environment in Cross River State. In Calabar, Oba Hyacinth, NTA News.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has raided a lounge in Osogbo, Osun State, where a night party organized for illicit substance abuse was going to hold, and arrested some of the organizers who were found with drug exhibits. The raid followed credible intelligence that some persons were going to hold a night party tagged Unholy Alliance for stoners and drunkards, where different types of illicit substances were going to be sold and consumed by patrons. Soon after, the organizers began to gather at the Berry Mist Lounge located at Ofatedo area of Osogbo to start the party. NDLEA operatives swooped on them arrested them and recovered illicit substances of abuse and drug paraphernalia from them. This comes on the heels of an earlier raid on Thursday, 23rd November at Area 5 Forest Reserve, Ile-Ife, where operatives recovered 156 kg of cannabis sativa. Meanwhile, operatives of the agency also made arrests in Osun, Ogun, Ondo, Edo, Anambra, Ekiti, Kogi, and Lagos states in the outgoing week. Commending the arrest and seizures of the past week by officers and men in the 8 states, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, charged them and their compatriots across all formations of the agency to continue to remain vigilant and double their efforts, especially with the desperation of criminal networks to make money by all means as the Yuletide approaches. The Nigerian military has disclosed plans to engage some neighboring armed forces in the joint exercise to galvanize regional efforts and capabilities towards addressing contemporary security threats bedeviling Nigeria and our neighboring countries. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, made the disclosure in a message to the second edition of the grand finale of exercise Mugun-Bugu held at the Nigerian Army Training Center, Kotangura. Mukhtar Bobo reports.
Exercise Mugun-Bugu in Hausa, meaning deadly strike, is the final phase of the Nigerian Army Field Training Exercise in 2023. It is a combined arms exercise comprising personnel from the combat and combat support arms, as well as students from across the Nigerian arms training schools. The exercise also has a joint dimension of the Nigerian Air Force integrated to provide air power and support the ground troops in achieving their objectives. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, represented by Major General Jalal Jimo, hinted that this year's edition is tailored towards training a typical Nigerian Army division in all arms maneuver within a joint environment, given the merit of asymmetric security threats confronting the nation.
It is my firm belief that in future, this exercise would involve some of our neighboring and friendly armed forces in order to galvanize regional effort and capabilities towards addressing contemporary security threat.
The fluidity of the security situation and the ever-changing contemporary operating environment makes it imperative that we continue to train and perfect our tactics, techniques, and procedures to adequately tackle the challenges we are currently facing.
The setting of the exercise Mugun-Bugu 2023 reflected on the multidimensional nature of security threats bedeviling the nation. In Kontagora, Mukhtar O.
The Nigerian Army Resource Center is developing the capacity of middle and junior officers to enhance their leadership skills, especially to be proactive in decision-making in war times. The intensive course is centered on critical thinking, conflict management, and emotional intelligence.
With the training given to you, it is expected that you have fully imbibed the Chief of Army Staff command philosophy, which is to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped towards achieving our constitutional responsibility within a joint environment.
In course, the seventh in the series is also aimed at increasing the competence of the officers in the battlefield management.
Conducting the operations more of the time than the senior ones. So the belief is they should be able to take decisions on the spot without waiting for somebody to tell them what to do and without understanding what they stand to gain by doing the correct thing at the right time. The country will be at a loss. That's the reason why we believe we should continue to equip them with the leadership skill that is required both in peace and wartime.
The first correspondent, Ismail Musa, reports that the Nigerian Army says such training will reposition the force in ensuring that it performs its constitutional responsibilities effectively. The Nigerian Army and vigilante groups have successfully rescued 6 kidnapped victims and dislodged scores of bandits in Shangal Forest of Kebbi State. The success recorded followed a proactive rescue operation effort launched by the Combined Security Team in the Shangal Forest on after response of the kidnapped victims, according to Director of Security, Cabinet Office, Birnin Kebbi, Abdurrahman Usman. The 6 male rescued victims were all hale and hearty and have since been reunited with their families, he explained. Troops of 1 Battalion Duku Barracks, Birnin Kebbi, on clearance operation in conjunction with local vigilante, conducted a raid operation to Kongon Damisa Hill around Saminaka in Shangal local government area, a border town between Kebbi and Niger State, during the operation, and dislodged a large number of bandits and rescued 6 kidnapped victims. Let's now join Sokoto, where Sadia is standing by.
The 51 kidnapped victims rescued by the Nigerian Army along Godabawa, Ilela, Tangaza axis of Sokoto State have been formally handed over to their local government officials for reunion with their families. This followed profiling and thorough medical checkup ordered by the Governor Ahmed Aliyu during their presentation by the Nigerian Army at the Government House, Sokoto. Ali Muhammad Kawai tells us more.
The victims, mostly from Godabawa, Tangaza, Kori and Ilela, were presented to Governor Ahmed Aliyu on Thursday. Soon after, the governor ordered their immediate profiling for medical examination at selected tertiary health facilities for proper medical attention. The Chief Medical Director, Specialist Hospital Sokoto, Dr. Bello Umar Tambon, reveals they discovered that the victims do not have peculiar health challenge except fatigue and malaria fever.
We are able actually to handle them very well, and then they are now in good condition. We are able to give them all the necessary medication.
Earlier, the governor has approved the sum of 100,000 naira to each of the 51 victims, with 3 bags of grains to ease their recuperation.
They got all the necessary assistance and cares that they're supposed to get, and appreciate the remarkable job that my colleagues did.
Some local government sole administrators who received their people appreciate efforts of the Nigerian Army in the rescue mission and the state government's gesture.
Rescuing the life of people at the same time without paying any single cover is a giant stride.
The victims were rescued by troops of Joint Task Force Operation Hadarindaji Northwest, led by Garrison Commander Ed Division, Nigerian Army Sokoto, Brigadier General Alexandra Tawasimi.
We are living with professional soldiers, very regimental and professional soldiers, and this thing that we've been seeing today is not the first time we've been doing it.
In Sokoto, Ali Muhammad Kawai, NTA News.
Zamfara State Chief Judge Justice Kulu Aliyu has released more than 30 inmates from the Medium Custodial Center, Kusau. This was during the Chief Judge's visit to the center to review cases of the inmates, most of whom were awaiting trial. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
Section 1, Subsection 1 of the Criminal Justice Release from Custody Act laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2007 empowers the State Chief Judge to conduct prison visit and review cases of the inmates there for appropriate action. Accordingly, Zamfara State Chief Judge Justice Kulu Aliyu undertook a 3-day visit to the Medium Custodial Center, Gusau. Justice Kulu, accompanied by the State Grand Kadi Dahiru Muhammad and other stakeholders, reviewed cases of the inmates and eventually ordered for the immediate release of more than 30 among them. Lack of evidence and unavailability of case files for inmates that had been awaiting trial for up to 7 years, as well as poor health condition, were largely the basis for release of the inmates. Some of the inmates also had their fines or loans amounting to 1 million naira settled by a humanitarian group and the state. The Chief Judge, who spoke through the Director Litigations of the State High Court, Aisha Jibril, said the exercise is aimed at decongesting the custodial center and to fast-track the administration of criminal justice.
Most of the cases here are capital offenses such as armed robbery, culpable homicide, and other major cases.
Meanwhile, the Chief Judge has ordered for the compilation of the list of some inmates sentenced to death or life imprisonment for onward transmission to the State Governor for possible pardon under the prerogative of mercy. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto for now. More news on Nationwide with Bright, but that will be right after this break. Do stay.
Welcome back. The federal government is determined to enhancing small enterprises from the grassroots in line with poverty eradication programs. Towards this end, the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, in partnership with Katsina State Government, organizes financial empowerment initiative for rural enterprises for capacity building on rudiments of starting own businesses. Owal Haliru reports.
The Empowerment Initiative is a federal government program through Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria to assist in developing small businesses in rural communities. The beneficiaries drawn across rural areas in 34 local governments of the state were trained on various aspects of packaging and marketing of their products. This intervention from the federal government is intended to support some of the small businesses to be able to create employment and poverty eradication within the environment.
The essence is to enable the nano business to be financially inclusive in the activity of the federal government. And what the program is all about is in 3 layers, which is about sensitization, capacity building, and provision of grants to the nano businesses.
I also advise the participants to utilize the grant given to them efficiently so that their business can grow.
We don't target rural areas. We want to at least reduce the poverty level to the barest minimum.
The expectation is for the businesses to expand from nano up to medium and large enterprises. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
The feminine nature of women deserves love and compassion to thrive. However, the reverse becomes the case when the intended love turns to hatred, resulting to one form of violence to another, and on extreme cases, death. Ngozi Technical takes a special look at the essence of International Day of the Elimination of Violence Against Women in Kebbi, the Menace.
The filter of this voice and images may bring about mixed feelings in the heart of many. They are the sad reality of violence against women in Nigeria, which has risen to above 27,000 cases between 2020 and 2023. Global statistics has it that 35% of women have faced physical, sexual, or emotional violence either from intimate partner or other members of the society who ought to care for the vulnerable ones.
My worry is, how do we get here, where we have lost our sense of humanity, where you look at a fellow human being and you choose to treat him or her the way you do.
It's not also perpetrated by the men against the women alone. Even the women themselves perpetrate this gender-based violence against themselves.
The United Nations General Assembly set aside November 25 every year as a day to raise the consciousness of the global community to galvanize needed support to eliminate violence against women, with orange color signifying a world without violence.
We just got approval from the Governors Forum to have a mobile court. That is the easiest and shortest way that women will get justice.
With the theme, Unite, Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls for 2023, the day kickstarts the 16 days of activism where civil society groups and government agencies intensify advocacy, sensitization, and awareness campaign for the eradication of every form of sexual gender-based violence and promote gender equality. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
92 students have been selected for the 2023 Quran recitation competition in the FCT, with the winners expected to represent the territory for the national event. Hakimat Aliyu brings us details from the opening ceremony of the 38th edition in Abuja.
Memorization of the Holy Quran and ability to recite melodiously by heart
is a strong teaching of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah upon him, and a celebrated achievement in the Islamic faith. Efficiency in this is a major factor judges will be looking out for at the FCT Quran recitation competition organized by the FCT Quran Recitation Foundation.
Sincerely speaking, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because every year when we go for a national competition, we come back with flying colors, positions.
We have category of 40 hips, we have category of 60 hips, we have category of 30 hips, we have category of 60 hips with the tafsir. And the importance of this Quran competition are very numerous. One of it is that it helps us to keep Quran not only maybe in the form of discs or put it in cassette alone, so that at least we have it in the heart too.
The opening ceremony kickstarts activities for the 3-day event, where all the 8 male and female participants drawn from each of the 6 area councils will be tested and the best selected.
From Gwagwalada Area Council, I'm very happy being participants.
Reading the Quran is something that gives me joy and happy to do always.
The event, which was graced by Islamic scholars and reputable personalities, also featured special lecture on the Quran, its uniqueness and benefits that abound in it for the generality of mankind. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Updates. Oche Ngbede is our guide.
Offa Volleyball Club and Chief of Naval Staff have both emerged champions of the Men and Women 2023 Nigerian Volleyball Premier League played in Abuja. Offa beats Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps 3-1 in a keenly contested final in the men's category, while the CNS female came from behind to beat NSADC 3-1 in the women's final.
For underage, Nigeria is very strong, and that's why the league became very competitive. Very, very good. You could see both the male and the female, the champions, the champions in March, they came from most of them from the underage.
In another development, handicap 44 player Sarah Faboyi has emerged winner of the Best Net Ladies category of the Maiden Golf for Peace Championship at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja. Faboyi grows a total of 109 with a net score of 65 to outplay a field of over 200 golfers to emerge champion. As organizer says, the competition is to preach peace around the country.
I feel like I'm one of the peace ambassadors now, and I'm so glad I made it.
When we have sports, we find that Nigerians are united. All the fault lines give away. And that is why it's important for us to try and ensure that we put more emphasis on sports.
The need for engineers to keep fit at all times to ensure maximum productivity has again been raised in Abuja. Stakeholders make the call while participating in various sporting activities as part of activity marking the 2023 Nigerian Society of Engineering Games.
The idea is to come together and refresh our memories and interact with one another as part of the activities for our engineering week.
The importance of the fitness, they said, cannot be overemphasized. With Sports Update, Oche Ngbedi, NTA News.
That's a wrap on Nationwide today. Thanks for watching. I am Bright with you.